We just launched the top short-term rental in all of North Austin. Let's check it out. We are here in Round Rock, Texas. I helped our clients find this home. They were looking for the right property. It had to be under $500,000. It had to have opportunity for value add so they could refinance later and pull some money out. And this is set to become easily one of the best short-term rentals in all of North Austin. And we're already projecting over $150,000 in revenue on this property. Stay till the end to hear the full financial breakdown on this deal. I think it'll surprise you. So it's definitely an older home. Whenever we first started with this property, everything was dated. It was all like 70s, 80s stuff, like super old. And we knew coming into this that it was gonna be like a full remodel project, which is what they wanted. We worked with the amazing Funkit Interiors on this property. They did a great job, like really honing into the actual guest avatar of this home. That's one thing that we talk about a lot is like, whenever you're choosing your design choices on these properties, think about who's the end user for the property so you can make intentional decisions about it and provide the best guest experience, basically. This is the dining room. Originally, we were talking about making this a 6th bedroom. So this is a 5-bedroom house. And my original thought was to make this a 6th bedroom. And the owners actually decided to make it like a really nice intentional dining space. And I actually like how it came out. We're always trying to see how we can fit in extra bedrooms, right? But I think what's even more important is that intent, like I was talking about. Even though we didn't go like 7 bedrooms on this property like we could have, they kept it a 5-bedroom and just made the design and amenities absolutely amazing and top of the market. It's already outperforming like other 6 and 7-bedroom properties. So it's not always about fitting in as many bedrooms as we can. Kitchen's fully set up. They did a full remodel in here. The before of this was a completely different scenario. It looks next level better compared to like what it was whenever we first walked this property. This was the garage. So one of the things that we always talk about, and you always see me online chanting from the rooftops, is garages are a massive waste of space in your short-term rental. And they actually did not make this a bedroom. So one of the really cool things that we did in here was split up via a curtain the whole space. So you have space for a dedicated movie room, which can be fully blacked out, and you have space for a fully dedicated game room as well. I think with these short-term rentals, when you're trying to fit in as many amenities as possible, you kind of have to get creative. It can't look Frankenstein-y.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
Like this looks very intentional, well set up. It doesn't look like a Frankenstein house, if you will, which is a lot of times what I call these short-term rentals, where it's very like patch job, kind of cheap finishing, cheap furnishings. This looks very nice, high-end, very well done. That is the full downstairs. So let's go check out the upstairs. The cool thing with this property too, that bodes really well for it as a short-term rental, is that the 5 bedrooms that are in this house are all on the top floor. So like downstairs is all entertaining hangout space. Upstairs, it's pretty much all bedrooms. And you'll see in each bedroom that we walk through, they're all designed beautifully and kind of set to maximize the sleeping space, but not in a weird, stuffy, or uncomfortable way. Again, everything in here was remodeled. There we go, fresh paint. This deck it comes right off the master. Having enough seating space is important. So like this house, for example, sleeps about 18 people. And whenever you have different seating areas around a property like this, it's not that you need to be able to seat 18 people everywhere, but you can't, like if we were just gonna go have, let's say just these 2 chairs or something, it would look really cheap, not properly done. You wanna have intentional spaces where the guests can hang out together. That just improves guest experience overall, honestly. Also, it's a great photo moment. One of the really cool things with this property is we're right off the creek. So whenever the creek is full, it's super dry right now, but whenever the creek is full, guests also have private creek access. We'll go downstairs and check out the backyard in a second, but there wasn't always a fence here, and so it just kind of ran straight to the creek. But we were very purposeful about making this kind of feel like its own private space. So we'll go check that out here in a second. They did a full remodel on this house, but whenever you're making decisions on like what to remodel and how you want to do that, like what choices to make, where to spend the money, you have to find places like keeping this old cabinetry in place. We don't have to replace that and spend tens of thousands of dollars on new cabinetry in the home. We replaced the vanity with a really nice one. There are areas where you're going to get a higher ROI for your money if you need to kind of make it spread. We love bunks. Every time that people talk to me, the biggest thing I always harp on is not doing the twin bunks if you can help it. So this is a queen over queen bunk, and making sure that it's good quality and sturdy. So you'll see a lot of times like the cheap metal bunk beds on Amazon, those break all the time and they're just not very sturdy. Like this is super solid. It's important to invest in quality furniture, not just stuff that looks good. Again, this bathroom, all they did was replace the vanity, and we added some paint, replaced the flooring, but like the shower was already the white subway tile. Again, could we have spent thousands of more dollars to replace all the tile and make it look super new? Sure, but it looks good enough, and we were able to save money by not doing that and use it elsewhere where we got a higher return on that money. And then we have 3 bedrooms like stacked right here. These are just regular bedrooms right here. The really cool one I want to show is this one right here. We're always big on, one, you want TVs in all the bedrooms. We have people that message us all the time at our properties. Do you have TVs in all the bedrooms? Do you have TVs in all the bedrooms? Like, it's a really inexpensive way to offer that to your guests and capture more bookings. Specifically though, in this bedroom, I want to point out that we did king beds. Guests want as big of a bed as you can fit, even if you're one person. If I'm one person, I have a king bed, I freaking love it. Queen beds are fine, fulls are fine if it's necessary, but we always try to fit as big of a bed as possible. So we got 2 kings in here. Even though this is a shared bedroom, if you will, it still feels very premium. Go downstairs. This right here is really where all the money is made. So believe it or not, this was pretty much all grass. There was no fence, and it just opened up all the way to the creek. We saw an opportunity because it had such a large lot, but it was still relatively inexpensive. It's hard to find properties like this one was under $500,000 with as large of a lot as this has, with the private creek access. Like very, very unique, which is a lot of times why I implore people to explore some of the outer areas around Austin. Like, you know, this same type of property that's 10 miles closer to the city is going to be double the price, right? So you can get a much less expensive property, even if, like, let's say this house makes 150K. If it was closer and maybe it does 200K in revenue, your cash flow is going to be significantly higher in an area like this. So they actually added this pool. They were able to do this a lot less expensive than if they were going to do a like full size pool, and it still offers a really cool guest experience. We've had amazing reviews about this. Actually, we got the full spa. It's important to find moments where you can, what we call, stop the scroll, and so we added a really cool mural right behind the pool so that the photos are going to pop as much as possible and stop the scroll. That's how you maximize your returns on these properties. Saunas are a really cool amenity that we're starting to see at a lot of different properties that we work with. The Austin market, and not just the Austin market, but the Austin market does generate a lot of folks that are interested in like health and wellness. And we've noticed a boost in revenue on properties that have these wellness amenities like saunas and cold plunges. It's not like absolutely necessary, but having something like this, I mean, we usually see, call it a 5 to 10% bump in revenue at least. So it's a good to have. And with a property like this, when you're trying to maximize all the amenities, it's relatively inexpensive for the return that it'll give you. So final numbers on this deal. They bought this property for $450,000. They put $130,000 into additional amenities and design, everything that we saw here today. And the amazing thing is they were able to refinance at a higher value. So the property just appraised for $720,000. So with this one deal, they have tons of cash flow. They actually are using our management company, and with management in place, they're on track to get about a 12% cash on cash return. Without the management in place, it would get probably a 24% cash on cash return, something like that, which is super hard to find. And then you have massive tax savings. So they're going to eradicate with this purchase a ton of their income tax. So they are both W-2 employees that are high income earners, and they are able to offset the majority of their income just with this one purchase. So they're offsetting all that taxes, they're getting a ton of equity growth, and they're producing repeating cash flow. So it's hard to beat and find a deal like this. These are the kinds of deals that we do. We help people do these types of deals every day: tax savings, cash flow, equity growth. This is what it's all about. If you're interested in doing these types of deals, check out the link in the description if you want to get started.